Hi, I'm Old Sneelock. Welcome to another episode of Old Sneelock's Workshop. Now this is 1,000 grit stone. Since this is the first time I've sharpened this plane blade, I expect it's going to take a while to get that exactly flat. I might need to switch to a coarser stone. Working pretty well. We're flat enough to call that flat. Got a good frost all the way across the front edge. Where this sets against the blade, there's some pitting, but I don't think that's going to be a problem. While I'm working with this coarse stone, I'm going to flatten the front edge of the cap iron. By running the cap iron on the stone in this manner, this edge is slightly below that, so what gives it a spring and makes it actually pinch down onto the blade itself. So by laying this flat on the sharpening stone, it rides up on that front edge and only cuts the front edge of the blade cap. I'm working it across the Waterstone so that I have a even wear pattern, so I wear out my Waterstone evenly, and also so that I make sure and sharpen both sides of the cap iron, because the cap iron is slightly wider a few thousandths wider than what the Waterstone is. Okay, I got a good frost all the way across the front edge of that, and it's sharp. That means it's going to seat against this blade tightly and hopefully not get chips underneath it. I don't want to take off any more of this than I have to, because every time I take some off of that edge, I'm actually flattening this piece so that it loses a little spring. I want to keep that tension on there so that the cap iron stays flush to the blade. I'm setting the blade on the stone so that the front edge and back edge of the bevel
sit flush on the stone. That way I'll hold the angle. Here I'm checking the wear pattern on the blade to make sure that I've got the angle correct. Once the jig is set, it's just a matter of rubbing back and forth until it's done.
Now I could do this freehand. There are a lot of people that sharpen plane blades freehand. And once I've established the proper angles and got the blade squared away, I will probably do it freehand. Because I'm establishing the angles on the blade right now, it's just easier to have this nice jig to hold the blade in the same angle every time, because I have to do this a lot more than what I normally would do if I was sharpening. The sharpening is really just taking the established angle and polishing it up a bit. You don't want to let the blade go so far that you have to re-establish the angle before you sharpen it.
With the bevel established, I switched over to the King S3 stone, which is much finer. It's a 6,000 grit stone, so it cuts a lot smoother and actually can polish the edge. Just checking to see if I'm getting it polished like I want. I have to go over the finer stone with a small, I think they call it a Nagura stone, to generate a slurry on top of it so it'll actually start polishing. But this part of the process takes a lot less time than the 1,000 grit. The grindstone did a good job of establishing the angle and got the edge down to the point where it was a good bevel, but it still left some pretty good scratches in it. The 1,000 grit had to take out all the scratches that the grindstone put into it. The 1,000 grit doesn't leave anywhere near as heavy as scratches as the grindstone, so the S3 stone doesn't have to work quite as hard.
Now I have a mirror edge. Don't have it all the way across because I only established just a small bit of bevel on the end, because this bevel, the original bevel, was too flat. It was around 20 degrees, and I like to have mine 25 to 30. So I set the guide to hold the blade at about a 30 and went from there. I'll polish up the back a bit. That'll remove the burr that I put on there and also flatten the back. I'm going to try the plane blade just to see how well it works.
If you have any suggestions for a new video, questions about today's video, or any of the other videos on the channel, just drop a note in the comments. You know I read them all. Thanks for watching.